sometimes I see hands completely unlike these, and it keeps me going for the day. I might make a couple blocks around the neighborhood, and I might spot one of my fans, and it's kind of like Cannabis tried to rip on LL Cool J a long time when he told him 99% of your fans were high heels. So Cannabis was trying to joke on LL Cool J that most of his fans were women. And if you didn't understand, especially in the popular culture, LL Cool J is the one that came up with the term GOAT, greatest of all time. One of his albums is actually named GOAT, greatest of all time. And it took a while for that craze to catch on. But eventually it did. And now, in this popular culture, go, 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 go. Some people may text you with the GOAT emoji, or someone may summarize a person quickly as he the GOAT, she the GOAT. Sometimes people may just reply, GOAT. So now it's everywhere. But in the beginning, when LL Cool J coined the term, he was a shower nozzle. He was way over our heads at that time. But LL Cool J, he responded in this one of these early rap beefs, LL Cool J versus Cannabis. He responded and told Cannabis in the diss track, responding diss track, he said 99% of your fans don't exist. So he was basically, I'm LL Cool J. I know what I got in these streets. I know what I got in this public sphere. And you don't have any of that. Basically, you're nothing. So when I bend a few corners and I see hands in windshields and waving and wishing me well, a lot of times it's ladies, women. And just seeing those hands, those very soft hands coming out of that car emerging, I can see them through the windshield. You already know what they look like, who they are, but just seeing the palm of those hands reminds you of, oh yes, I'm glad that she's my fan. It's a beautiful thing. But today, that's not why we showed our hands. That's not why I showed my hands at the beginning of the show. This is Tarantino News, brought to you by Unity the Movement, and coming to you live from Universal Headquarters. Today, I'm showing you my hands for that all too familiar reason of basically, don't shoot. Don't shoot. I surrender. I am compliant. Please don't shoot me. And we know with that submissive gesture, and I was just watching Monsieur Candy's basically soliloquy on African American civility. It doesn't matter if you show your hands or not. If you're combating someone such as Calvin Candy, they don't care how submissive you get. You still are who you are, a piece of property. So this just reminds me of people who really consider the South and the Deep South America. There are definitely Southerners who consider the South America. You know that because why would people in the South be really fighting for rights if they didn't really believe in America? This is wrong. You can't do this to me. This is America, So this is for all those people who either realize what's going on or don't. So this is for everyone. Whether you are in the know, it's for you, or whether you're not in the know. This one is for you. I oftentimes think of Notre Dame. That was my favorite football team, college football team, when I was growing up. So I would do little research on Notre Dame. They have a touchdown Jesus. They call them the Golden Domers. Their helmets are gold, solid gold. And obviously the name of the team is the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And I researched why do they call them the Fighting Irish. And I also researched, obviously, the name of the team, Notre Dame. What does that mean? And I realized that it's French. Notre Dame is French. So, the French Fighting Irish obviously doesn't make any sense. But the word Notre Dame is, that those two terms, that's French. And it means Our Lady. Our Lady. And Our Lady in this term is Mary, the mother of Jesus. And Notre Dame is a Catholic school. And Notre Dame means Our Lady, referring to Mary, the mother of Jesus. But there's also basically a Notre Dame of the South, a whole nother country. And also a whole nother religion. And that's Ole Miss, another classic term that people have put their own spin on, but it has definitely withstood the test of time just by Ole Miss being named Ole Miss and continue to be referred to as Ole Miss. And in popular culture, you've heard your tea lady, my old lady, all that kind of stuff. And if you really, where are you understanding in terms of knowing what's going on, you may have even heard Ole Miss, that's my Ole Miss. And Ole Miss means the mother of the plantation, Our Lady again. But Our Lady is not Mary, not in the South, not in the Confederacy. Our Lady is the number one lady on the plantation. Most of the time, it's the master's wife. And now you understand, there's several gentlemen and ladies, and if you check their Instagram posts, you can pretty much tell they're not really down with their blood, sweat, and tears being dedicated to the plantation or doing everything they do in honor of the master's wife. Because, Catholic people will say, basically, Hail Mary, full of grace. They are understanding that to a great degree. They're giving a lot of praise and honor to Mary, Jesus' mother. But people that's actually attending Ole Miss and playing that ball on those courts and ball fields with Ole Miss across their chest, they're not aware, for a great degree, that they're doing all this in honor of the plantation and the perseverance of the old order. But they happily throw on that Ole Miss uniform and they get on out there and do what they have to do. So today, we're talking about something that means a little bit to me because I'm a comedian. I'm a real comedian. I'm a real comedian. And Ole Miss, subconsciously and consciously, has tried to get people of color to, accept the school as it is and carry on. They stripped the school of the mascot. Now, it's still Ole Miss, mother of the plantation. And it's still the Rebels, not going for any type of union activity. This is the Confederacy. So it's still the Ole Miss Rebels. But at one time they stripped the mascot, which was Colonel Rebel. And they replaced the Colonel Rebel mascot with the black bear. And the bear is blacker than black, just a super black bear. And people are like, why in the world would you make the mascot a black bear and still call it the Rebels? They said, well, we didn't want to be racially insensitive, socially insensitive to the times that we're currently living in. So we chose the black bear because these people think they're smart. They said we chose the black bear because the black bear is indigenous to this environment. And that's the word they use. And they were talking about the black bear. But I know something else is black that they got, that the Rebels kind of feel like needs to be here in its proper place and order. So it was really like a type of like a clown show for a couple years. And then they had to basically scrap the black bear and come up with something else. Because, it was obvious, hey man, we can't turn this TV on, see this school called Ole Miss Rebels. We know what it means, we just be letting y'all slide. And then you got this black bear parading down the sideline like, please, scrap it, scrap it, scrap it, scrap it. So after a couple of years, Ole Miss scrapped the black bear. And hey, wait. It's not Ole Miss bashing day. I got love for Ole Miss. No doubt, okay? This is just a little bit of a truth. I accept the truth and then still love Ole Miss. So, say what you must, but it is the truth. Just like I said, there are a lot of people that look like me wearing those uniforms, but at least they are wearing those uniforms and then they have their destiny in their hands because Ross Barnett, if you don't know about him, he graduated from Ole Miss. And those people that look like me that graduate from Ole Miss, they'll also have a certain leg up on life for enduring their time receiving an education on that plantation. So big props to Ole Miss. But I was thinking, well, do you want to involve the black person in the experience in the higher side of what Ole Miss is all about? They should have never stripped Colonel Rebel. They should have made Colonel Rebel black. Like, if you make Colonel Rebel black, then you steal the rebels, and then you let black people or people who would try to bash Ole Miss, you let them say, yeah, we do understand that black people can be in charge too. They don't always have to be subservient. We have the black Colonel Rebel. And so me just looking at the Colonel Rebel and thinking about, just the mascot and thinking about it being black. And then I was also thinking, because I know with the black bear, you always got to get your little sneak diss in. And when I saw that KFC had extra crispy chicken, I said they should just make the black bear, don't go to black bear, just keep it Colonel Rebel and make him a black Colonel Rebel. And then in their secret little, passageways, they can refer to the black Colonel Rebel as the extra crispy Colonel. Like, ha ha ha, still get your laugh in, but at least when you open your eyes, you'll see the black Colonel Rebel and he's in charge. So you get your, your little jokes in, like Calvin Kennedy said, well, hell, I couldn't imagine 2 weeks in Boston. So like, ha ha ha, we all gonna laugh. But at the same time, the visual is the visual and the black guy's in charge. So, it seems like the best of both worlds of being the extra crispy Colonel. And somebody really believes that. Not just me as a comedian. Somebody has actually taken on that moniker in the flesh. might be an 87-year-old man. Every time you see him, pretty much he's in all white. I have a photo of him with an Ole Miss hat on his head, with the old school mascot, the white guy, Colonel Rebel, standing in front of a portrait of Ross Barnett, who was the governor of Mississippi during the time when this man became a student by force, the first black student at Ole Miss. So he got to know the significance too of him wearing all white all the time, representing Ole Miss, basically rubbing it in their face that nah, we here too. And that's the great James Meredith, the first black student at Ole Miss who by force, one student, one little piece of pepper, is that just huge salt shaker. He had to be admitted by force by the United States military and say, let this boy enroll in this school. But that's an accomplishment in itself, to be that piece of pepper. And you're the great goose that we're all here to protect, to get you enrolled, and we're gonna watch you and make sure nobody kills you on campus. But James Meredith didn't stop there. He's still working. And even when he got in school, he's not like a lot of people we know today. Once they get in and they get on and they get through, they forget about where they came from. He didn't do that. One of his early fights, he was admitted as a student in 1962, and then right around 1966, he led a march from Memphis, Tennessee to Jackson, Mississippi. Basically one of those kind of freedom marches to get black people to register to vote and things of that nature. And the second day of the march, he got shot. Like, we're not finished with you. We knew not to let you in school because we knew it'd lead to more activities such as these. So he recovered and he basically got back with the group. When they got closer to Jackson, their destination, about 15,000 people end up joining the march, even though it was real light when he first started. He got popped real quick. But with him suffering those injuries, more people got involved because they really couldn't see that he was already in a war when the military had to, by force, get him admitted into school. So when he tried this feat of marching for black people rights from Memphis to Jackson, Mississippi, initially he didn't have much support, but then the support came. And he didn't want the support of those big businesses, big nationwide organizations. He knew, kind of like the movie Pirates of the Caribbean, bootstraps. Sooner or later, we have to grab ourselves by the bootstraps and put some work in ourselves. So that's what he was kind of thinking. There's enough colored folk all around, basically I-55 to come out here and join me if somebody would have joined me. I don't need SNCC, NAACP, and everything to converge on me. If these black folks want to get involved in controlling their own destiny, they're already living in houses with blankets instead of front doors. And that's true. And that's not just true in 1962. I invite you to take a trip down old Route 61 or Highway 49 North and look at some of the houses in the great delta of Mississippi. And you just may see a few with blankets serving as front doors, even at this time. So, the extra crispy Colonel. You should see how he looks. He's got his white hat, he's got his nice top hat, he's got his decked out in all clean white. And he makes his appearances like that, James Meredith. very often. So it's a little funny, you know, because there is actually, I did a little bit more research, there is actually an extra crispy kernel that supports the type of chicken that I'm talking about for KFC. And he calls himself the extra crispy kernel. And it's Colonel Sanders, but he's got like a serious tan to support the extra crispy chicken. So they call it the extra crispy kernel. But we all know who the real extra crispy kernel is. And I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to take the joke that far. But we've already covered it. So big shout out today. Big shout out today for a trailblazer. Big shout out today for a real Braveheart, a Lionheart. And he's still pumping. Ross Barnett is dead. Like I said, James Meredith was taking a picture in front of Ross Barnett's portrait. So James Meredith still has that blood running warm in his veins. He's a library that's still accessible. And we need to access our legends while we still can. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, send them to New York City. And also know that I love LA. So if you have any pictures, memes, videos, or captions, send them to LA. And we will respond. And if we don't respond, we will address it on the air. And it's nothing but love this morning. It's a great day. And almost, not quite, but almost, sad to say, that a day like this, in considering our honoree, this situation definitely reminds me of a song.
Count me in. Oh, America. Oh, America. Yeah. America. America. Sweet land of liberty, y'all. I'm doing this one for the struggle. And everybody doing brother, sister, daddy, your mother, who living in the gutter. You want better cars and a better heart. Another star, your home yard. And a place to pause. You want a trusting wife and a better life. Bigger crib and a home cooked meal. Every single night, hell, feel what you going through. But I could have warned you when it's time to be a man. Do all you can, see other lands, and don't be living for the other man. Take time out, set it in, be the better man, and closely watch your friends, and then you'll understand a little better then. But on the other hand, you so goddamn stubborn, and you be starting shit. And ever since you made president, we ain't even seen you since. You need to visit our schools, rebuild our church and home, and stop killing my own kind and leave my earth alone. And stop tapping my phone and searching my brain, and keep your personal feelings home when you bet in my phone. Do it for the weak and strong, and to each his own. We'll do it for the main goals when all the heat is gone. Told me, it was told me, so me. No,
no way, not in America.
Not America.
Not America.
Not in America.
Our country is liberty. Liberty. That'll never be.
Never.
No way, not in America.
Not in this America.
Not in America.
No.
You only got $2 to give less than a fuck.
Then you a nigga.
Got a nice home in a Lexus truck.
You a nigga.
World champions and you MVP.
You a nigga.
4 degrees and a PhD.
Still a nigga.
To use your platinum card, you need 4 IDs.
Then you's a nigga.
If your skin is brown just like me,
Then you a nigga.
got a promotion and a fat ass raise.
You still a
You
nigga.
from the islands and your peoples was enslaved.
You a nigga.
No matter how much your ass get paid.
You still a
Shot
nigga.
by the cops at a traffic stop.
Cause you a nigga.
That's why I hold toast too. I sell boxes.